Sure. I think currently the reality is that the numbers are staggering, to be quite frank. And if you want to look at the state unemployment rate and then you compare that to the veteran unemployment rate, we're looking at over 3 times the difference. And even going nationally, the numbers are dramatically increased as well. So really I think what's going on is that we have a major disconnect. And to give you a little bit of a framework, I'll share a little bit of my personal story with you. And essentially, I joined the Marine Corps in May of 2001, and this is actually before September 11 happened. And as you can imagine, a few months later, my life absolutely changed, and I knew that I was on that trajectory to go into combat, to be quite honest. I served 2 tours in Iraq, and on my second tour in Iraq, I was injured twice. The first time, my 28,000-pound light armored vehicle rolled over into a canal, pinning me. The only thing that I was able to move was my arm. I was underneath this 28,000-pound vehicle in a canal for 40-plus minutes. And the thoughts going through my head at this time were everything from being crushed to death to being burned to death because the ignition switch was left on in the vehicle and fuel was running around my feet. I could smell the fumes. It was 130 degrees out in the desert, and I was being crushed. As our guys tried to dig me out of my vehicle, the vehicle continued to roll on me more and more. I came to a point of despair and hopelessness where, sadly, I came to a point where I decided to end my life. And I reached down to where my 9mm pistol was, where it normally was, and it was the one day I didn't go to the field with my pistol. Had I have gone to the field with my pistol that day, I wouldn't be here in front of you. They eventually did get me out, and I spent a couple weeks medevaced into Baghdad at the hospital and just recuperating. And I'll tell you, it wasn't so much the bruised ribs, it was that I lost my confidence. And I was a 24-year-old, young, confident, cocky Marine with zero confidence in a combat zone. And that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. On top of that, I was in charge of other men, and I had to go back out there. November 29, 2004, we were on a nighttime patrol on another one of these canal roads, and we were ambushed. An IED went off directly beneath my vehicle and threw my vehicle into the air and destroyed it. It opened up my vehicle like a tuna can. I had multiple injuries in my legs. Tourniquet on my leg, I should have lost my leg, but they kept it. We have amazing medical facilities. 8 surgeries, 6 weeks in the hospital. The point I want you to know is this. It wasn't even so much the physical aspect of it. What you have is a bunch of men and women who are coming back, who, because of these great breakthroughs in medical technologies, are staying alive. But the veterans of today aren't content with the status quo. And that's why I'm here. Because for me to come back and to live a life of normalcy and mediocrity is not sufficient. We have seen the other side. We have seen life and death. And those are heavy things to contemplate and to deal with. And I think that we have one of our nation's greatest underutilized assets, and that is our veterans. And I think that when we bridge this gap, when we understand where they're coming from and what their purpose is and what they're trying to do, I think that what you're seeing is an outpouring of veterans who want to give back, who want to make a difference, who want to make an impact. What we need to do is learn how to bridge that gap. And when we do, amazing things are going to happen. Amazing things are going to happen in the state of Michigan.